MMA fans. We are back with Championship 1 Lumpinee 131 picks. We are an MMA based channel that covers UFC and now frequently Championship 1 as well as other things when we can. I think Brian Battle is going to be in Dirty Boxing tonight, and I watched some weird Korean MMA last night. Without further ado, we are joined by none other than the gambling phenom himself, who will be taking us through Lumpinee 131, giving us his full insight and predictions, breaking down the card, and giving some betting tips. Take it away, Bruce. Let's go, and good luck.
Okay, people, I'm going to be breaking down our One Friday Fights 131 card for all of you. And without further ado, let's get into it. For bout one, we have an MMA bout between Shahzada and Merab Mamadzadeh. My prediction here is Merab Mamadzadeh, and it is I label this as a risk on my risk assessment. I'll get into why in a second. He is a 2.5 underdog at the moment, which I'll say is pretty good value on him. Anyways, let's get into it. Merab Mamadzadeh is he is 2-0 professionally, and he's the same in his amateur career. His competition level has not been that great, fighting people who are all 0-0 or 1-0 throughout his career, but his skills show in his last fight especially. He went against a 30-year-old who tried to grab him by his legs. Merab did not allow it to happen. He stayed on his feet and proceeded to KO his opponent Turai with his aggressive boxing, landing a clean uppercut counter and an awkward ankle that rocked Turai when he missed his punch. His wins seem to all be stopped early, and his opponents all cop out so quick that I don't see any of them as being established opponents. But you can see that Uzbekistani, even though he's fighting low-level cans, he has good technique. He knows kickboxing or Muay Thai because he throws vicious head kicks too. He has a head kick KO as well. He has Superman punches to go with his vicious striking, but his over-aggression could lead him to slowing down in a fight that... and in that scenario, that's exactly what Shahzada Atayev wants. Shahzada Atayev, he fought the better competition, only in one fighter though, naming Jean-Claude Saklag, and he won. But apart from that, he only fought bums too, and some had him in trouble. Shahzada likes to spend too much time on his back for my liking. He has good submissions against people who aren't that good in the grappling department, like Saklag. We had Saklag to win a few weeks ago. He's a monstrous striker. But he's not good, like I said, he's not good in the wrestling department. Anyway, Shahzada won after getting dropped by the first punch Saklag threw, which was a jab. He won because Saklag tired himself out and got submitted. Shahzada may be able to get Merab in some difficult situations where he's getting taken down and held, but I've never seen Merab get forced into a bad position apart from one time where there was one reversal against his first amateur opponent from 2 years ago, where he went the distance, I believe. Yeah, anyways, Merab seems to be able to win this fight with takedowns, but I think he's the much better striker out of the two from the footage that I've seen so far. It's just he may tire out as the fight lengthens on. I don't fully know. He's very aggressive and explosive, like Saklag in a way. And Saklag, we saw what Saklag did to Shahzada before Shahzada won. Maybe Merab lands a head kick and KO Shahzada too. It is possible, but for Merab, I don't see him spending time in a bad position for too long. For too long in this fight, as he usually only spends time on his back when he shoots a triangle or a submission, like when he's dragging his opponent down himself. He shouldn't give away the ground time to Shahzada. But yeah, anyways, that's it for bout one. I'll get into bout two. For bout two, we have an atomweight women's Muay Thai fight between Si Ching Phoebe and Madison Klatt. My prediction here is Madison. This is a huge risk, a huge unnecessary risk that a lot of people don't need to take. Anyways, let's get into it. Madison Klatt is 1.67 times at the moment. She has a record of 25-4, but then a year later she had a record of 8-5. So I'm not sure how it works or whatnot. But either way, I found out her record's not. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyways, we can't find the full record. I don't know exactly what a full record is, but I saw a fight where I watched the whole footage, and it stated that her record was 26-4 at the time in that fight. I don't know what to believe anymore with her, but it is what it is. She seems like an okay fighter. In 4-ounce gloves, she will be even better, I presume, as she's a boxer. She can catch kicks pretty well. She throws more than one punch at a time. She should be the more durable woman in this matchup. I've seen her fight 4 and 5 round fights outside of one of these, so I know her cardio should hold up. She likes to clinch knee. Her clinch elbow is her most effective weapon, in my opinion, though. She has sliced many Thai opponents and girl opponents, with her elbows. I've never seen her bleed, but she does bleed her opponents, and that's a big factor in a women's fight. She also doesn't usually get outpointed by opponents unless they have a great kicking game or a good clinch knee game. Si Ching doesn't really utilize clinch knees, but her kicks are pretty good. The boxing of Si Ching is alright too. She was outpointing Nong Am Fairtex, which is that's a pretty decent feat, But Nong Am Fairtex, she usually throws at a slower pace, but is sharp. That's why that's how Nong Am normally wins. Anyways, she was sharp enough to hurt Si Ching with multiple crosses and kicks over time. Si Ching was wearing damage on her face in that fight. And same as for the fight when she fought Moa Carlson, who outstruck Si Ching completely as an underdog as well. Si Ching should be the less durable of the two women. I'm not sure. Her nose may have a little. It looks like, I'm not sure if her nose is just meant to be that small or she has plastic surgery, but her nose seems to get broken and busted up very easily in combat, and that's a big thing if you're going to go against the girl who's going to keep annoying your nose. Si Ching is 13-4, but she performed well last fight, faking many entrance punches to get closer and land strikes. Also, she will keep ending her combinations with low kicks. She has been training at a Superbon training camp, and Superbon will most likely be in her corner as he's going to be here for his cousin who's fighting later this card. So this is a major risk. Thailand loves Superbon. They love Superbon so much that they give Superbon fighters wins sometimes. Anyways, distance on this fight is a good bet, maybe because Madison could I won't say maybe because there could be a bad outcome where Madison just slices open Ching and has her bleeding everywhere for a doctor stoppage. Jesus, I'm stuttering. Anyways, Madison also has good kicks and outside work, but she normally turns her pace up as the fight goes on. She has been robbed before against a Thai woman who she 100% beat her. She cut her face with an elbow and outstruck her. I see her often clinching to engage the distance and shoving opponents into the ropes, searching for elbows to the face when they push back from the ropes inside that little distance against her. She is pretty clever, but her ability is limited. I don't think she'll wear any damage on her face, but I don't trust her to look like the better fighter in this fight. And even if she is, Superbon is in the Chinese girl's corner, like I said, so they may favor her if it's a close fight, as they've robbed, not in 1OC, but they've robbed Khalat before. 3, we have an MMA bout between Alexandre Khan and Seiya Matsuda. My prediction here is Alexandre Khan, and my risk assessment is that this is a mid-risk assessment, not mid. I would call it a mid-risk, possibly, because Alexandre Khan, I'll get into it in a second. Anyways, the odds on Alexandre Khan are 1.4. Let's get into it. Alexandre Khan is 5-0 professionally. He hasn't fought the greatest level of competition, but he's a big Thai/French fighter. He's got a lot of size in him. I think he's going to win, as they have been pushing him in one for a while now at low odds of around 1.3 or 1.25. But in the last 2 fights, I would not call him deserving of those odds. He is a tough fighter for sure. He's lost 2 amateur bouts, one by armbar, but ended his amateur career in 2021. He has since upgraded and is an explosive fighter that can wrestle to a victory. He was put in his back by a takedown in his fight against De Cruz, but got up pretty well after a few scrambles. His head was put in a guillotine, which worried me, but he escaped it and smothered De Cruz for the rest of round 1, holding insane top pressure and some ground pound at the end of round 1. He also put himself into a guillotine in round 2 like an absolute idiot, but reversed his position from underneath after fighting for his life in the bottom position of a top-mounted guillotine. He then escaped that to end up inside a rear naked choke, which he also escaped and reversed and ended up in top control. It was one of the worst scrambles I've ever seen. It was awful to see, but he does have that no quit mentality and ended up getting off the submission on his opponent, actually, that was trying to submit him the whole time. He will most likely be the bigger fighter in this matchup, and if he does somehow get that top mount over the judo fighter from Japan, he will most likely crush him with elbows or find a way to submit him. I wouldn't know about submission. Maybe he can submit him later as the fight goes on, but the reason why I'm saying submission is because I'll explain in a second. Seiya Matsuda had one of the worst fights I've ever seen in one against Carlos Alvarez, who's an explosive fighter and also somehow reverse flipped Seiya and submitted him in 17 seconds flat. He practically flipped him over himself and then submitted him with a headlock practically. Yeah. Anyways, Saya isn't a bad fighter despite this loss. He is 6-1. He can end up in top position where he could isolate a limb and pull off a submission that's the way he could win. He's not going to win the stand and bang in this match. I don't think so. If the fight is close somehow goes to the distance, the Thai MMA fighter should take the victory. He's their only Thai MMA fighter after all, and in my opinion, I don't think this goes the distance. I think it's going to end inside the distance. I think that Alexandre Khan is going to get the KO. Yeah, that's my prediction. Battle 4, we have a bantamweight kickboxing fight between Gabriel Pereira and Taku from Target. I'm going to call him Taku Target. Anyways, my prediction is Taku Target. Yeah, he's mid-safe, 1.45 odds multiplier, which is pretty good. Anyways, let's get into it. Taku is a Japanese kickboxer with 10 fights, 9 wins, 1 loss, 6 KOs. His loss was to a technical younger fighter, but Taku has good boxing. He is sharp. He fought and rise against better competition when we compare it to Gabriel Pereira. They both are predominantly boxers, but I'd say Taku is sharper offensively. He uses more jabs and crosses to find a target. I would say he's also a headhunter. He doesn't usually target the body unless he uses knees, but when he does, they are impactful. Most his strikes are impactful, no matter of fact, actually. Gabriel Pereira has a record of 37 fights, 34 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. I would say that he lost to his last opponent, in my opinion. His name is Maxime Makach. Maxime Makach utilized a lot of jabs and crosses to chip past the guard and land the cleaner strikes in the fight with Gabriel Pereira. Makach was only 3-0 at the time, actually. Gabriel Pereira had been fighting much lower level competition than Taku. He fought a man who was 5-2 a few fights ago as well. I believe Gabriel has okay boxing, but it's obvious and visible. Like, his striking is very easy to see. He has the cardio to keep chase of an opponent for 3 rounds, but teep kicks, knees down the middle, and straights down the pipe, they should catch him clean. They should drop Gabriel in this fight, and I like Taku to win. I think Gabriel has an overrated career. I really do like the way Taku strikes. It's not that he throws a lot of output or whatever, but he finds his moment, and when he finds you, he starts breaking you down. When he really finds the angles of attack, he starts to break you down, starts to hurt you with big shots. And I think that he will knock down Gabriel. I'm not sure if this is going to go the distance or not, so I'm not going to bet on that. I'm just going to bet on Taku here because I like the odds. Anyways, yeah, Taku should win. Battle 5, we have a bantamweight kickboxing match between Zhu Shuai and Arthur Klopp. My prediction here is it's 50-50. I'm going to get into the reasons why I'm not going to give a clear prediction in this fight. You'll understand in a second. And if you do want to bet, just listen to what I have to say. Anyways, this is a huge risk. Arthur Klopp's odds are 2.25 times as an underdog, and Shuai's odds are 1.57 times as a favorite. I'm not saying that Arthur is my prediction here. I'm saying there is value on him. And like I said, this is the truth here. I think one fighter is better than the other fighter, but there's such a high chance that he loses if you understand this. This fight game is not all about betting on the better fighter. Sometimes the better fighter will lose. It happens a lot. And the more established fighter here, the better fighter in my opinion, is Zhu. Is the Chinaman, but Klopp has the size advantage in this fight and he has the age advantage. Zhu was my original prediction for this fight though, I will admit. Zhu Shuai, let's get into it. Zhu Shuai has a record of 46 wins, 17 losses, 10 by KO. Sorry, not losses by KO, 10 wins by KO. He's 30 years old. Arthur Klopp is, he has a record of 45 wins, 18 losses. He is 28 years old. Zhu Shuai is the more accomplished fighter. He beat Fabricio Andrade 7 years ago. I know it was 7 years ago when the man was 23 years old, but it's still an impressive win. It's like when we had Zhao Chongyang to win for us. He beat Elias Enahachi 9 years ago, and then and Elias is considered a legend today, the same way Fabricio Andrade is. Well, Fabricio's a bigger legend, but they're still both legends. Anyways, Zhu Shuai is a dangerous striker that only needs to land the right punch to drop you. But he has had his decline, I believe, because he once beat a man in an 8-man tournament to win the tournament. It was a China versus Japanese tournament. The man he beat is named Hirotaka Asahi. Hirotaka Asahisa. He recently lost to Hirotaka Asahisa, and I'm not sure how long he spent away from the game. Since that loss, his recent level of competition suggests that he's had a decline in the level of opposition over the years, but he's been winning. He is 3 centimeters smaller than Arthur Klopp. Be careful what you place here. Arthur can walk forward for 3 rounds and throw enough output to sway the fight in his favor. I doubt he will be the sharper fighter, but with him being in his prime at 28 years old, by the way, the lower weight means the prime you have is when you're in your prime is like you need to have speed to be in your prime. Yeah, when you start hitting the age 30, you start to lose your speed a little bit. So I'd say that I'd say Klopp is still in his prime compared to Zhu Shuai. Shuai Zhu, who's exiting his prime, and I can't really say he's exiting his prime, but I would assume he's starting to. Shuai has many more accomplishments than Arthur Klopp, and a large sum of Arthur Klopp's opponents before his debut in one have come from the same promotion Gabriel Pereira that we just spoke about came from. They are decent fighters, but nobody of the highest level like Shuai has faced. It is a shame, even though Shuai beats such high level fighters, he can lose to fighters who are not at the top level, which irritates me because it makes this selection process in this fight so difficult. Arthur has a good guard, but can be caught by a left hook. If Zhu throws a 5-punch combination like he usually does and lands that left hook, it may drop him. Anyways, Arthur won't be scared to engage in the middle. Matter of fact, I bet against him in his last fight, in his debut, in 1FC, choosing a Japanese fighter named Ryota Nakano, who was a previous Rise champion. Klopp was dropped by a precise left from Ryota, but he dropped Ryota in round 3. Klopp will be working the whole fight for a win, but I believe Zhu is the better fighter and he's definitely beat the better level of competition. I don't know if I trust Zhu though here too much. He's not an old man, but he is 30. Sometimes you see a fighter not do as much in a fight as you expect them to do, like how you would see them back a year or two ago. And this could be the exact scenario where that happens. My bet here is that this is probably a decision. I probably think this fight goes the distance. But I'm going to place that myself. Anyways, Arthur has a decent size advantage here. And if Arthur doesn't fall, he should have a great chance at winning. So, but they may give it to the Chinese fighter. Klopp has good, like I said, he has good betting value. And that's the only reason why I'm betting him. My prediction is that Zhu is the better fighter. But he's losing his prime and the level of competition he's fighting is deteriorating. If I were you guys, I would skip this fight. I would just skip this fight if I were you. And if you do bet on this fight, bet on both guys in a parlay or something like that, with the other safer fighters. So either one hits, you still win money if the safe fighters hit. Anyways, Out 6, we have a Muay Thai bout between Rustam Yunusov and Petsukumbit. My prediction is Rustam Yunusov. I have this written as mid/safe. I have also written that there's a slight robbery/upset chance here, but I highly, highly doubt it. Anyways, 1.15 times odds. The fight is what Rustam's at right now. And this fight could go to the distance, because Petsukumbit is a tough fucking bastard. But anyways, let's get into it. And the zombie. Anyways, Rustam, we had him about a month ago to win for us against Don King. He did a very good job as a 1.4. He's now 14-0 undefeated from Russia. We spoke about him before. He has great tomahawk elbows. He is nicknamed Tomahawk for a reason. He ends all his punch combinations with with kicks, or like low kicks to the body or low kicks to the legs, or spinning back fists/elbows. He can also just move out of the pocket to reevaluate. If he dodges a strike, he can just move out of the pocket to reevaluate and find a new entrance into the game. Into his opponent. He is by far the more technical fighter. Petsukumbit is a strong brute Thai fighter who is levels lower in the striking department, but on a good day he can be dangerous. He lost to everyone I've ever bet against him with, which is good, apart from Silvio Vites, who he KO'd in round 1, but I thought Silvio Vites could beat him. I was wrong, I guess. Silvio Vites ain't that bad. But he beat Kong Dorani a long time ago, and I would say this was more of a fluke day than a representation of his skills, because he is not a better fighter than Kong Dorani. But like I said in like my other breakdown just now, you can be the worst fighter but still beat the better fighter. That's how the world is. Anyways, he could beat Rustam Yunusov here, but he loses this fight, I'd say 95 times out of 100 or 97 times out of 198 times. Yeah, he's just tough and strong, but his technique is non-existent. Rustam Yunusov should be able to just throw jab, cross at different angles. Yeah, leg kick down low. Yeah, just keep making it difficult. Keep switching up the attack. And he should be able to outpiece and win against this fighter. I don't know whether it's going to go distance or not, because Rustam Yunusov could just crack him with a good few tomahawk elbows and cause a bunch of blood to come out of his face. Doctor stoppage. Or he could crack him with a spinning elbow or a spinning heel kick and knock him out. But yeah, if the odds are good for the distance, I am going to bet the distance just because I know that Rustam Yunusov's opponent is a tough fucking bastard. Bout 7, we have a Muay Thai bout between Ik Yusan and Dao Dang. My prediction here is Dao Dang or whatever his name is. And my risk assessment is that this is a mid risk assessment. Sorry, it is mid on my risk assessment. Anyways, he's an underdog at 2.1 times money. I don't know why he's an underdog. Anyways, I'm going to get into it right now. Ik Yusan has 51 wins, 9 losses. He won probably the worst robbery one of the worst robberies I've ever seen in ONE FC in his debut against Kampantong, who beat him 2 times already before outside of ONE FC. They rematched in ONE FC. Kampantong clearly won. I had money on him, and he clearly won the trilogy, but they robbed him because everybody bet on him since he already won twice outside of ONE FC. Ik Yusan has a lot to learn. He's too easily hittable, and his striking isn't very good. He has a decent 1-2, but apart from that, nothing much else. And even then, his 1-2 is like very low output. Anyways, he is a dirty clinch knee spammer. So if he gets the clinch engagement going, yeah, he's just gonna start spamming knees like a little twat. Dao Dying, that's how he won his last fight, his debut into ONE FC. It was by far a horrible robbery. He should be 50-10 right now. And if he has more fights that went that way, yeah, then he probably has more robbery wins too. I don't care about his record being 50-10. He's not an impressive fighter. I do not give a shit. Anyways, Dao Dying has a good clinch game also and implements elbows into his game. Dao Dying has also fought and beat Phenom Mongkorn, who, in my very honest opinion, would also beat the shit out of Ik Yusan. So I think Dao Dying wins here. And of course, he could be clinch spammed, but he finds counters and adapts mid-fight to different circumstances. What I love is if he gets outstruck by a few knees or a few strikes, he makes sure to get the points back by petty spamming knees quick while in clinch also. So that's like, if my opponent clinched me, say, and they spam me with like 1, 2, 3 knees, they got ahead of me on the strike count in that clinch exchange, he's just gonna start lifting one knee 3 times back or 4 times back just to even it out or get 1 point ahead. Anyways, he should be able to negate the opponent in the clinch roll. Plus, at the end of round 2 against Phenom Mongkorn, he landed 6 elbows to his head. He avoided the KO shots the whole fight practically. Yeah, he did eat a few dirty strikes, yeah, but he taunted the bull, yeah, in Phenom Mongkorn by shaking his head like Rotang, shaking his head, yeah, while there was a little bit of blood on his face. And he outstruck Phenom Mongkorn and beat Phenom Mongkorn. That was really impressive. Dao Dang is tough, and I think he's tough enough here to win this matchup against a taller opponent. He's not stupid either. He will kick to rack up points while moving on the back foot. His opponent should be taller, but he's not dumb. You're going to see he should win probably. I think that as a 2.1 underdog, I think he has a great chance at winning. At 8, we have a women's atomweight Muay Thai fight between Gabriel Moram and Nong Fasai. My prediction here is Gabriel Moram. I have it as labeled on my risk assessment as a mid fight, but right now I'm thinking that it's such a high chance of a Thai robbery now. A very high chance of a Thai robbery. Gabriel Moram was a she was a 1.73 favorite before, but now she has moved to a 2 times underdog. She is a Brazilian female veteran with a fight record of 36 wins and 13 losses, just under a 3-to-1 ratio. Her opponent, Nong Fasai, has a record of 82 wins and 58 losses. 58 losses, yeah, 82 wins, 58 losses. Anyways, Nong Fasai has 0 head movement, and I don't have any clue in hell how she keeps coming in as a favorite in her past fights. In her past fights, 2 fights, she lost as a favorite, and sorry, not her past 2 fights, not her recent 2, but anyway, she lost her last fight to a girl called Scarface, who I cashed in who I cashed in on as a 3 times underdog, and I've actually cashed in on her 2 times in a row now as a 3 times underdog. Scarface is serious. Anyways, Nong Fasai somehow beat Moa Carlson, but I don't believe it. In my opinion, I just don't believe it. Anyways, she seems to eat many shots. She has some power if she lands, which is how she gets some wins. She manages to hurt She manages to hurt the faces of her opponents. But now she's against Gabriel Moram, and Gabriel she has movement and agility. Francisca Vera, aka Scarface, the girl we just spoke about, she beat Gabriel Moram before she joined 1FC, using a high advantage in clinch to land good knees to the midsection, and she used a reach advantage to control the distance to enter the clinch. And just outstrike her. Anyways, Moram had her moments in the fight. She landed some good body shots. She had some good crosses and like body crosses, body shots, body kicks, and she had a couple good leg kicks. The only issue is Gabriel Moram has when in a fight is when she's dealing with constant pressure, like against Scarface on the Nafis Delicat. And we had Nafis Delicat to win as an underdog against Gabriel Moram as well, by the way. Anyways, she may have some issues against Nong Fasai if Nong Fasai decides to just walk forward and throw. But Nong Fasai's accuracy isn't the greatest. And Gabriel Moram has decent hands. Plus, Gabriel Moram's footwork keep her on the outside the whole time. She should be more effective. Her footwork should be more effective here against Nong Fasai than it was against Scarface or Nafis Delicat, because she isn't dealing with the size, like the height difference, or the reach closing her in, closing the distance off. Anyways, when she walks backwards, she isn't dealing with the size or reaching or the reach closing her distance off when she walks backwards. Anyways, she should be able to snipe Nong Fasai for 3 rounds, and Gabrielle should not be wearing too much damage on her face. I don't think she wears any damage at all normally. Nong Fasai bleeds easy, and she will probably, not easy, but easier than Gabrielle, and she will probably bleed when a few good crosses catch her nose or catch her face. I always get annoyed at myself for not placing more money when I bet against Nong Fasai as an underdog. Now Nong Fasai is she's not the underdog anymore. She's the favorite now, actually, yeah? And I think the odds are great for Gabrielle. I think that 2 times for Gabrielle is a fucking steal, but it could go the way of robbery. But Gabrielle is a much higher level. She's much higher level than Nong Fasai, in my opinion, especially when it comes down to the striking game. So I like her to win. Maybe they do some bullshit for the Thai girl because you never know. Like the Queen of Thailand just passed. Maybe they're giving Thailand's woman a win or some shit like that. But I think that Gabrielle Moram should win. She's the better striker, and she's taller. She's actually taller. So keeping a distance in this fight should be not too hard for her. I think she should be able to manage this pretty well. Round 9, we have a flyweight Muay Thai fight between Phenom Noir versus Mohamed Tufik. My prediction here is Mohamed Tufik, and I have this risk assessment capped as a mid. Mohamed Tufik is a 1.57 favorite right now. I watched the fight of Phenom Noir, and trust me, when I say I found the right guy, I found the right guy. I found him from picture and everything. He fought a match. I watched his last fight, actually. He fought a match where he was predominantly clinching after trying to close the gap while he was losing a fight for the whole fight. He was, for the most part, when he wasn't in a clinch, was throwing kicks. And then as soon as he would throw like one move or one punch, he would just tie up and spam knees. So we have another fighter again in this matchup, who likes to use knees and kicks, and who likes to spam knees. I apologize, I can't find his full record. It's not always possible to find their full Muay Thai records, but he lost his last fight, and this bad performance I described was it was his most recent fight. He did win before that fight that I just described, in round 3 by KO, but it was against an 18-year-old kid who lost 3 times in a row before losing his 4th fight to Phenom Noir. In his last 9 fights, Phenom Noir was KO'd 3 times, and since he's 30, I don't see him improving off his last performance. I don't trust Mohamed Tufik anymore, even though, I just don't trust Mohamed Tufik. But because he lost by KO in round 1 to Whitaker last fight. I do respect the power in Whitaker's cross, though, however, yeah? And he has a beautiful cross. It's his best weapon that Whitaker has. Mohamed Tufik should be tall enough not to worry about the clinch work of Phenom Noir. He only has to worry about the elbows to well, to his face, to be honest, yeah, in the clinch, as Muhammad Tufiq's easy to rock. Um, yeah, and truth be told, they're not really thrown often, anyways, or accurately. So yeah, the only thing is I just don't trust Tufiq's chin anymore to get hit by anything. That's the reason why he's going against like a pretty fucking easy opponent. I just don't trust him to get hit. I'll give him props. He went to a decision with Azadullah Imam Ghazaliev, but that is it. I want him to win here, but I don't trust him at all. He is 15-4. I think he can, like, 15 wins, 4 losses, but I think he win by KO here, but maybe it goes the distance, and if it is a KO, it'll probably be round 3 unless he lands a knee up higher or spinning elbow or some shit. But yeah, I don't really trust Muhammad Tufiq. I am going to take him here. I think that he should be mid and maybe mid safe potentially, but I don't trust him too much. I think that he will win though. I'm pretty certain he'll win. About 10, we have Boakiao. About 10, we have a bantamweight fight with a bantamweight Muay Thai fight between Boakiao and Maemot. My prediction here is Boakiao. My risk assessment on this is that it's mid, but I'm going to put it to a mid risk now. It's not just because the odds, I'm not letting the odds sway me here, but I'm just going to write it as a mid risk. He is currently a 2 times underdog. Boakiao has 81 wins, 24 losses. We bet against him as an underdog last fight where he had me so scared for my fighter. He constantly pressed forward in the fight, but he wasn't always catching strikes when he did press forward. And when he did catch a strike, he would get hit by one in return, and so he'd always get met by one. He did land with more impactful damage in the trade-offs. So when he would throw one and get hit by one, he would land with more power. But overall in the fight, he was outstruck ever so slightly, and he was head kicked 4 times in round 1. In one of the rounds. I don't know what round it was yet, but yeah, he was head kicked 4 times in a row. But he ate the head kicks like it was nothing. He is the real life Terminator. He could probably easily have beaten Suriyanlek if he had unlimited time. But that's the thing. He has to work inside his time limit and inside his time frame. So yeah, that's the one thing that's going to be against him. His upcoming opponent is Maemot, a fighter with 56 wins, 23 losses, a perfect 2-to-1 ratio. He was my prediction against Amui last fight, but it went exactly like how I said it would. He was 1.29 last fight, but he was not worth it. I don't know why he was 1.29 against Amui. In fact, if Maemot did not land a knockdown in round 1 against Amui that he somehow did, he would have lost the fight. Amui is known for his aggression and constant pressure. He's a Burmese fighter. Maemot found it hard to deal with Amui. Now, if we compare Amui to Boakiao, they're both durable pressure fighters that just walk forward and throw. And Boakiao is more durable than Amui. So if you put Boakiao in front of Maemot, it should be an obvious outcome, but I don't always trust Boakiao. I guess I should when it comes down to this fight. He is a durable beast, and I haven't seen him dropped yet in 1FC. But Maemot does have good kicks. If he's getting outworked, he tends to stay behind. But I don't think he can KO Boakiao. In fact, I think there's 0 chance of him KOing Boakiao at all. If it does happen that he KOs Boakiao, I'll be so shocked. If Maemot wins, it's probably going to be by the distance. He's probably going to be throwing kicks and throwing crosses and punches here and there, yeah, and jabbing his way to a victory. He'll be using a jab and a lot of body kicks, yeah. But I don't know how long he's going to be able to do that for against a guy like Boakiao. Boakiao is going to walk him down, eventually find that range, find a good few strikes, yeah, and he might even just break down Maemot. So I'm not taking Maemot to win. I think Maemot loses. Yeah, I think Boakiao wins. For bout 11, we have a bantamweight Muay Thai fight between Panrit and Chisana. I am yet again going with an underdog here in Panrit, and obviously, of course, it is a huge risk. Panrit is 2.25 times as an underdog. Anyways, let's get into it. Chisana's record is 74 wins, 29 losses. Panrit's record is 74 wins, 32 losses. Panrit is Superbon's cousin and a good fighter, but he's lost his chin recently, and I've been accumulating income and losing at times because of it. I bet against Panrit with Sorkim and Antakasem because of his chin issues, and they proved me right when they slumped him. Panrit tends to get slumped in round 2 or round 3 as the fight goes on. His awareness goes down and he starts getting caught when his pace starts slowing. The only reason I'm taking Panrit is because he hasn't had a win in a while, and it's been because he's fighting guys with KO power or clean technique. Chisana, in my opinion, I don't believe him to have either. Cool, he beat Komawut, and Komawut just beat Panrit, which is well done for that. But Coleman only has power, just no brain, which is why Coleman managed to beat Penrith. He has the punching power, but he don't have a brain. Crisana outsmarted Coleman to win. I don't think Crisana's punching power is strong enough to KO Penrith. I think the clinch knees may annoy him, may annoy Penrith, but the clinch elbows that Crisana has may drop or rock Penrith. But I think Penrith really wants to stay standing on his feet for this fight. I don't think he wants to fall down again. Cool, it's not up to him at the end of the day, yeah. But sometimes, like, you'll see him get wobbled and you'll see him force himself to stay standing instead of falling down. Penrith should be the better striker when it comes down to the boxing, and he used to be quite good at winning money for me in the past as an underdog. I think I can place some money on him here to win. Crisana is known for his knees and his clinch game, not his boxing. Penrith has the better boxing, like I said. He should be able to take round 1, maybe even round 2, and if he can survive to the bell, he should be able to win because he took those 2 rounds, but that's a big if. And I can't trust Penrith's chin anymore. In his last 5 fights, he's had 2 KO wins and he's been KO'd 3 times. He does have serious power like in his hands. Like, he's a good striker. Don't get it wrong. He actually is a good fighter. Penrith is a good fighter. He just doesn't have a chin anymore. The value to be made of Penrith can be good here, and it's the first time I've seen him as an underdog in a long fucking time. I don't think I've ever seen him as an underdog, actually. But yeah, it's the first time I've seen him as an underdog in a long damn time, and I am going to take him as an underdog here, even though I don't trust his chin. That's the one issue you're betting against, his weak chin. Final bout of the night, we are about 12 flyweight Muay Thai, a bout between Suriyanlek and Decho, which is a rematch from a while ago, like a few weeks ago. Anyways, my prediction here stays the same as it did a few weeks ago. I am going with Decho again, and I am going to warn everyone right now, you do not have to follow me on this bet. You don't have to bet this. This is a major risk. He is a 2.2 times underdog, and it is a rematch alert, a rematch which he lost the first one. I am warning you all now. But anyways, I am going to bet Decho because he was my first pick the first time this fight came around. Now, listen to this. This is a very important fight. I have to admit, I am notoriously bad at betting against Suriyanlek. I've lost with Decho the first time. I lost with Tanzin. They were both winning the fight against Suriyanlek until Suriyanlek broke them down or landed the strike that he needed to drop them. Decho did not get KO'd in the fight with Suriyanlek, but Tanzin did. I have been right against Suriyanlek when I bet on Ryusei against him and when I bet on Jiao Xi against him. I was also right one time betting Pompet against him, but the second time I bet Pompet, I was clearly wrong and Pompet got knocked the fuck out in round 1. See, in this fight, if I face the same scenario as that fight there with Decho, because Decho has shown major improvements in his conditioning and he's solely focused on his conditioning coming into the first Suriyanlek fight. He was 2 rounds up in that fight, actually, yeah, on the scorecard. Round 1, round 2, and he lost focus in round 3. He went for the finish a couple of times. He got caught badly, and he fell. The script flipped when he fell. He tried to get a knockdown back, and he just couldn't. Decho was devastating. I don't know how that will affect him this time. I hope he trained even harder for this fight, but I don't know if he did because he did lose his last fight after all. And if he didn't train even harder, he will lose this fight early. Suriyanlek knows Decho now and knows the power that comes with Decho. He will probably decide to rush Decho and attempt to finish him in round 1 or round 2 like he did with Pompet in their rematch. Decho needs to be alert and ready for the distance to be closed. When the gap between them disappears, he needs to be landing his clean elbows to hurt Suriyanlek and make him rethink his approach. He could also do with a nice head kick. He is rarely the more technical fight, like so much more technical than Suriyanlek, yeah? But the small ring, like I always say, will always favor a fighter like Suriyanlek style, like Suriyanlek with his style over Decho's. I pray for Decho here. He's got a big task ahead of him, and I don't want him to fail this time. Because the first time he was winning 2 rounds up, and he fucking fell. He can win here. He is a good fighter. He's a really good fighter. I believe that he can win here. Yeah, I didn't write down like all the statistics that I had from them for the last fight and all that shit. Yeah. I would normally have their records written down, but I forgot to write it down. Anyways, it's just because I've already researched this fight before and I went with Decho. But anyways, I believe in Decho to win again. Sorry, to win this rematch. I believe in him to get it done here.